Mentioned Pre Stanley already. Lainey Gosnell has been great the last month of the season and had a big game the other day in their first round victory over ULM.
Yeah, Lainey Gosnell, I mean, just a monster around the rim, and you just saw her get that offensive rebound. I mean, she has just been one of the best offensive rebounders I've seen play this year.
Michaela Porter misses the scoop shot, and the rebound controlled by Thelmas Karanga, who had a double-double herself yesterday against Texas State. Three-pointer from the wing.
Yeah, Sandifer can definitely hit that three ball, and that's one of the things that Pre Stanley and App State are going to have to defend. They've got to defend Troy in that three-point shot, not let them get too hot.
Sandifer averages 11 a game and shoots 39% behind the three-point line. Porter missed up close again. Stanley got the offensive rebound, missed again, and Dye with the offensive rebound, or defensive rebound, I should say, as you take a look at the starting five for the Troy Trojans. Tia Johnson, a big overtime period, 5 in regulation, then 7 points in the first 2 minutes of overtime yesterday as the Trojans outscored the Bobcats 20.
App State, they're going to have to get a lot of deflections and steals, starting with Pre Stanley, and turn them into layups at the other end.
The first of our 4 semifinals underway here with the Trojans in their home white trimmed in cardinal and silver. And Alexis Dye takes the first shot and makes the first shot as we take a look at App State and their starting five. We mentioned Pre Stanley already. Lainey Gosnell has been great the last month of the season and had a big game the other day in their first round victory over ULM.
Yeah, Lainey Gosnell, I mean, just a monster around the rim, and you just saw her get that offensive rebound. I mean, she has just been one of the best offensive rebounders I've seen play this year.
Michaela Porter misses the scoop shot, and the rebound controlled by Thelmas Karanga, who had a double-double herself yesterday against Texas State. Three-pointer from the wing.
Yeah, Sandifer can definitely hit that three ball, and that's one of the things that Pre Stanley and App State are going to have to defend. They've got to defend Troy in that three-point shot, not let them get too hot.
Sandifer averages 11 a game and shoots 39% behind the three-point line. Porter missed up close again. Stanley got the offensive rebound, missed again, and Dye with the offensive rebound, or defensive rebound, I should say, as you take a look at the starting five for the Troy Trojans. Tia Johnson, a big overtime period, 5 in regulation, then 7 points in the first 2 minutes of overtime yesterday as the Trojans outscored the Bobcats 21-8 in the extra period to win that ball game yesterday. Alexis Dye picking up where she left off yesterday. Troy jumps out to a 7-0 lead in the first 90 seconds.
Yeah, she's got 5 total 20-plus win seasons. I mean, a very accomplished coach. They had their 9th straight win yesterday in the quarterfinals.
So the Mountaineers got to figure some things out here in a hurry. Pre Stanley nearly threw it away.
And Troy is going to force App State to shoot the three ball because they're going to really pound it inside.
Sanders off the rim, and the rebound controlled by Karanga. Cross court, three ball from the wing, and another. Tia Johnson.
I mean, this Troy team is just so hard to defend. They've got so many weapons around the rim. I mean, they could shoot the three, they can drive it in. You know, for App State, they've got to tighten up defensively, especially if they want to contain Dye and stay in this game.
Sanders gets it back, drives the baseline, got bumped. Far corner, three-point shot by Porter off the mark, and a foul's going to be called on the floor against Troy.
And great rebound right there by Gosnell, just a rebounding machine. But here, Karangas gets it out to Robinson on the fast break. They find Johnson open for the three. Biggett was just too late to get there. Troy, excellent ball movement in the fast break.
Foul is called on Karanga. Gosnell working against Karanga, pulls up and jumps, and App State just really struggling right now. They've missed their first 8 shots. And an offensive foul called on Troy back the other way against Sandifer.
And that's an excellent job for Sandifer. I mean, when your offense isn't going the way you want, your shots aren't falling, you got to get your offense going through your defense. And, you know, right here, Sanders just positions her body well, gets in front of the offensive player and draws the charge. Excellent hustle play from Sanders for App State.
So while the Mountaineers are first looking for their first made bucket, Troy has opened the game 4 for 4 and 2 for 2 on threes.
App State's just got to hit shots. I mean, they haven't had bad looks per se. And Lainey Gosnell again with another offensive rebound for App State.
You're exactly right. Stanley had a good look from the three-point line. It just didn't go down for her, and the foul's going to be called on App State here.
And again, Troy is going to allow App State to shoot that outside shot until they make it.
Porter is whistled for that foul. And Troy comes down the floor with a 10-0 lead. Number 1 rebounding team in the NCAA the last 2 years in a row. Third highest scoring team in the NCAA this year. Only Maryland and Iowa average more points per game than the Trojans. As Troy throws it backcourt, commits the violation.
And that's a good job by App State defensively to kind of create some defensive pressure and force Troy into a turnover. That's how they're going to be able to stay in this game or get in this game, is with their defensive intensity.
Rigby now 10-5 in the Sun Belt tourney since taking over 9 seasons ago. And the Trojans 9-2 in the tourney since 2016. 4-0 as a number 1 seed. Sanders, offensive foul.
Jasmine Robinson said, hey, you take a charge on my teammate, I'm going to take a charge on you. Really good defense right there by Robinson to get her foot in position, move to the baseline, and take the charge. And we got another replay of it right here. She absolutely gets in front of her, sets her feet, sacrifices her body, and takes the contact.
So score remains 10-0 Troy. Robinson trying to feed the low post and die, and it's stolen away by Porter.
Very good hustle points by Porter right there. The steal to get App State the possession going in the other direction.
Stanley being guarded by Hartsfield. They go inside for Gosnell, shoots up over Karanga, point blank, and App State just can't buy a bucket right now. They've missed their first 11 shots.
For Lainey Gosnell, I mean, that was such a good move, good patience. She's got to just take her time on the shot and knock it down as Johnson hits a 3 from the other end for Troy.
Three-pointer for Johnson. That's her second. 13-0 lead for Troy. Can you win a game in the first quarter?
Well, in the first half yesterday, that Troy game versus Texas State, we thought that one was over early, didn't we?
Absolutely. They had a 17-point lead on the Bobcats, and Texas State came back to force overtime. Dye with the rebound. Offensive foul.
I love the defensive intensity from both teams. I mean, I wish that App State was hitting some more scores to make this game a little more even, but defensively, this game is just going back and forth. Both teams sacrificing their bodies. And take another look at this. Robinson, you know she's going to go to the rim. The rookie, Faith Alston, sacrifices her body on that play and takes the heat.
Tabitha, in the first 5 minutes of this game, we've had 3 charging calls. You might go a full game without 3 charging calls.
I mean, it's about effort, and I'm pretty sure both Coach Rigby and Coach Elderkin told their team, listen, that's what it's going to come down to in this game. It's going to be about hustle points if App State can hit shots.
Porter banks it in, and finally, after 5 minutes and 4 seconds, the Mountaineers crack the scoreboard. Dye, turnaround. She's just so money.
It's just money. I mean, she doesn't even go to the free throw line a lot because she shoots shots like that. She just shoots over the defender. Just such a nice touch.
6 points, 3 rebounds already for Dye in the first 5 minutes of this game. Her numbers the last 3 games are silly numbers. You won't even believe them. Last 3 games, Alexis Dye has scored 76 points with 43 rebounds. That's like she's playing a video game.
Those are better than NBA numbers, but Pre Stanley right there just getting the and one. You know, these are some good numbers, some good moves by Pre Stanley and KK Porter to try to get App State going, get some momentum in their favor. And right here, Stanley just takes the defender off the dribble, and now she's being rewarded at the line with the M1.
Hartsfield is called for the foul. That'll be number 1 on her. So 14 fouls now on Troy, so App State close to being in the bonus here. One more foul will do it as Dye goes to the bench.
I almost thought you said 14. I was like, wait, what?
Team. I just need to enunciate better. 4 team fouls.
And Dye getting a much-needed break. And, you know, she goes so hard when she's out there on the court. And I'm pretty sure her coach is just like, hey, give me all you got for these few minutes, and I'll sit you down for a couple minutes, and I'll get you back out there.
And App State, if they're going to come back and win this game, they've got to have a lot more like that from Pre Stanley. Completes the three-point play. Back the other way, defense did nothing to stop Jasmine Robinson.
Yeah, you can't trade baskets if you're going to get back into the game. I mean, you got to get stops at the defensive end and turn those to scores offensively. Sanders,
and a foul's going to be called on Troy, and that's going to put the Mountaineers in the bonus.
Yeah, it's getting a little testy down there. Yeah, that was between Gosnell and Dunlap trying to fight for position right there, but I like it. I mean, these post players fight for those rebounds. Gosnell, a really good offensive rebounder. And Sanders drove to the basket, and you see the contact down low between Dunlap. Yeah, she wrapped around Gosnell and fight for that rebound. It's a little scrappy out there.
So Lainey Gosnell will go to the line after the foul was called on Jalea Dunlap. Gosnell 77.5% at the free throw line this season, averaging just over 12 points per game. And 2 for Gosnell makes it 17-7.
I saw Gosnell's mom outside after Friday's game, and I just told her, I said, you know, I love your daughter. I love her game. She is a monster on the boards, and her mom was just so proud of her. But, I mean, Lainey Gosnell, just how she uses her body and creates position just impresses me so much.
So Faith Alston is called for the foul. That'll be the 3rd team foul on App State. Into the paint, and the turnaround off the back iron, and Gosnell clears the rebound. She averages 7.5 of those per game. Closed out the season as the Sun Belt Player of the Week for the first time in her career. And a traveling call on Alston.
Yeah, a little bit of a rookie mistake there, but you know what? They can't harp on that. They've just got to keep working at it, get a stop here defensively, and try to turn that into a layup at the other end.
App State 15-11, went 10-8 in the conference, the number 3 seed in the East. And the ball fumbled away. Moore could not hold on to it.
Excellent defense by App State, you know, trying to create havoc and force Troy into some turnovers as Gosnell hits from beyond the arc.
Gosnell with a big three-pointer to cut the Troy lead to 7. She's a 30% shooter behind the arc. And a rebound controlled by the Mountaineers as Stanley goes up to get it.
It almost seems like App State just kind of had to settle in and figure out what how Troy was going to play them, because, I mean, this is a completely different team than we saw in the first couple minutes.
Stanley fails to hit the runner, chases after the loose ball, and we have a whistle. Let's check the call.
Stanley.
So Dunlap picks up her 2nd personal foul for Troy, and Stanley's going to be shooting 2 at the line.
Yeah, and that was about effort. You know, Matt, we talk about effort a lot with these teams, and, you know, the talent, you know, everybody can't be an Alexis Dye, but you can control your effort. And Pre Stanley is not she's a really good athletic penetrator as she knocks down the first free throw, but, you know, just her and her hustle points, diving on the floor, meeting the ball where it is, causing Troy to foul her, and now she's being rewarded at the free throw line. That's how App State is going to stay in this game with this really good Troy basketball team.
Stanley's now 3 for 3 at the line, has 5 points, just 1 of 7 from the floor with 3 rebounds. Tabitha, how about your keys to the game?
Well, for App State, I mean, we've seen a bunch of it already. Convert defense to offense. Don't allow a lot of offensive rebounds by the best offensive rebounding, or the 2nd best offensive rebounding in the team in the country, should I say. Box out and rebound. That goes with those second chance points, and limit fouls. You know, App State is not that deep with their bench. So if they get somebody in trouble, then they're going to be in trouble themselves. But for Troy, force App State to shoot threes. They've been a really streaky 3-point shooting team lately. Limit the fouls. You know, Pre Stanley, she was 11 of 12 yesterday in the quarterfinals. So they're going to try to live on the free throw line, as we already saw, and then stay consistent. You know, in the words of Shanda Rigby herself, you know, don't get too high or too low. Manage your emotions, which can be really difficult in a season like this, as Pre Stanley converts at the other end for 2.
And now you see a big-time player starting to feel the magnitude of the big-time moment and starting to play like it. Three-pointer by Johnson off the mark, but the offensive rebound by Dye to stick it in. Troy is just a phenomenal rebounding team. They out-rebounded Texas State 63-36 yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, but right there, Alexis Dye, nobody had a body on her. Nobody boxed her out, and that's one of the keys in the game for App State. You've got to find her. If anybody, Alexis Dye needs to be the first one you box out.
Karanga, the rebound, brings it up, feeds it ahead to Hartsfield. Karanga puts it on the floor, and an offensive foul. That is the 4th charge we've had here in the first quarter.
I'll tell you this much. This App State team is going to have some bruises around that midsection because they are taking charge after charge after charge on this Troy team. And right here, Karangas drives right into Lainey Gosnell, and Lainey Gosnell sets her feet around the circle and takes the contact. Excellent hustle play by Lainey Gosnell for App State.
And textbook footwork by Gosnell there to make sure she got her feet outside of the protective arc, the defensive arc underneath the basket.
Yeah, and if, you know, App State keeps taking these charges, they might be drawing, you know, some foul trouble on some critical players for Troy.
Sanders, the dribble, and it goes through her hands and out of bounds.
And right here, next play for Sanders, you know, unforced turnover, but next play, get a stop on the defensive end.
App State, one of only 2 teams to defeat Troy during the regular season in the Sun Belt. Georgia Southern was the other. The Mountaineers beat the Trojans on New Year's Day at Troy, 78-66. Sharonica Hartsfield buries the three-pointer. 8-point lead for Troy. 20 seconds to go in the quarter.
That was pretty. It was none but net, too.
And Hartsfield, the freshman out of Oklahoma City, averages only 3 points per game. Wow, that was totally unnecessary. The foul by Hartsfield right there. You've got the dribble a good 35 feet away from the basket and 10.5 seconds left in the quarter. And
Shanda Rigby was really upset with her freshman right there. But, you know, that's a tough lesson that I'm sure Hartsfield would learn from. Rookie mistake. Big rookie mistake. But, you know, she's got to keep her head up in next play.
So Alston at the line. Just a 59.5% free throw shooter, averages 4 points per game, but perfect on that one. And the Mountaineers are 6 for 6 at the line in this quarter. That could be a real difference maker in this game. Troy getting in early foul trouble, putting App State in the bonus like this.
Yeah, one of the keys to the games, too, is limit those fouls because, you know, App State is going to try to live at the free throw line to stay in this game.
Clock winding down here in the first quarter. Robinson at the horn. Big three-pointer from Jasmine Robinson as the first quarter winds to a close, and Troy with a 9-point lead on a 21st double-double, 8 points and 4 rebounds in that first quarter. But you see Troy's 13-0 run was offset by App State's 14-6 run in the middle part of that quarter, and a lot of that has to do with the free throws. They're 7 for 7 at the free throw line.
And right on cue, Pre Stanley knocks down a three-point shot, and you know what? That was another key to the game. Troy is going to force App State to prove that they can knock down threes from beyond the arc, and so far, App State has not disappointed.
Stanley's the first player to get to double figures. She has 12 points with that three-pointer right there, and now she'll bring the ball up the floor. Stanley will back it up and run the offense.
And right here, App State has got to have some bodies move and not stand around.
And Stanley, it rolls off the rim. Gosnell made a jump at the rebound, couldn't get it. Dye did instead. Rosario running the point for the Trojans. Fires it inside, bullet pass. Beautifully done as Taisha Moore sticks it in.
Yeah, excellent pass, excellent vision. Got through 3 different defenders who didn't see that dagger coming through. Just really good vision right there by Rosario.
That's the first bucket for Moore in this game. She averages 10 points per game.
And again, App State, you know, there's a lot of standing going on. It's some good ball movement, but they've got to have some players running around trying to get open.
Biggett misses the three-pointer, and Stanley races to the rebound. She's been all over the floor. That's her 5th rebound already in this game. And then she cans a 3. 15 points now for Pre Stanley.
Stanley said, "Die who? It's about Stanley. It's my show."
Robinson finds her spot on the arc and rim out on a 3-point shot. And we have a whistle. I believe a foul's going to go against the Mountaineers here.
And Pre Stanley is trying to will her team to a win here in the semifinals. I mean, she is all over the place. Mentioned her 5th rebound a second ago. They left her open from beyond the arc. She said, "Money, don't leave me out there open because I'm going to knock it down."
What a start for Pre Stanley. She started 1 for 7 from the floor, but she's hit 4 of her last 5 and now has 15 points in 11 minutes. Foul, by the way, on Tiara Wilson. Inbounds. Rolled off the rim. Taisha Moore did a good job to get there, but didn't get the payoff.
Yeah, a little upset at herself for missing that 2 underneath. Had some good moves, got the rebound, and just didn't convert.
7-point lead for Troy, opening 2+ minutes of this second quarter. Porter runs into a double team. 10 on the shot clock now as Sanders backs it up. Gets a screen from Gosnell. In the paint. Sticks it in there. Janae Sanders.
I mean, great job by Sanders to fix a broken play and make a good, decent move. Not going to the trees, and a nice little touch on that pull-up right there.
First basket for Sanders. She averages 6.5 points per game. Give a lot of credit to App State, falling behind 13-0. It's now a 5-point game.
Yeah, it's about mental toughness, and in the words of Angel Elderkin, pounding the stone.
Steal for the Mountaineers, and Stanley brings it up. Porter going to drive the paint and gets the layup. App State is pulled to within 3.
I love the aggressiveness I'm seeing from App State. They are not backing down from this Troy team, which is the #1 seed. It could be a little intimidating going against a team like this, but I think App State just kind of had to settle in as Alexis Dye hits her favorite corner free throw shot. Nothing but net.
She's got 10 now to go with 5 rebounds. Does she ever miss? She's 5 for 7 from the floor.
Hardly. I mean, yesterday calling that game, I don't think she missed many shots. Hence the 37 points.
Exactly. She's one of those players you watch the game and you think back. You can't remember that she missed any shots. Obviously she did. She is human. You just don't remember any of them. There was a miss right there off the front iron.
A good box out right there for App State to find a body. Tiara Wilson finding Dye so she didn't get her own offensive rebound.
That's a great point. You absolutely have to box her out, even on a mid-range jumper, because she's crashing the boards to get the miss. Offensive foul. 5th time in this game. We've had an offensive foul, a charge, a great block by the defense.
And Sandifer is a little upset by that call, doesn't really agree with it. But, I mean, App State is just doing a really, really good job of moving their feet and cutting off the baseline. And we can take another look at it right here. Lainey Gosnell moves her feet. Yeah, absolutely. Beats Sandifer to the baseline and sacrifices her body.
Is this a game where, as a player, you have to adjust to what the officials are calling? It's obvious here. It's obvious the way these calls are going here in the first. quarter and a half, do you have to adjust to what the officials and how they're calling the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to see what the trend has been. And I hate to say trend, but, App State prepared for the drive from Troy. So you can tell that Angel Elderkin has been preparing her team with the cutoff, the hedging. Lady Gosnell is doing a really good job of beating the offensive player to the baseline, to the spot, and moving your feet. So these could easily be fouls on App State, but they're beating Troy to the spot.
Sanders drives the paint, pulls up, and it rolls in. Janae Sanders with her second basket.
Now Troy has to adjust and say, hey, if we're going to drive to the basket and we're getting charges every time, now we got to hit some outside shots and work from the outside in.
Rosario bounces inside and stuck in there by number 23, Jaleesa Reese.
Or you can just do that and find the really good passing ability and find the player underneath the rim.
First points of the game for the freshman out of Cordele, Georgia, and America's Sumter High School. Coughed it up. Rosario running the break for Troy. They got a 3-on-2. Drops it back for Johnson. Tia Johnson missed the three.
And Tia Johnson can hit that three-point shot. I mean, she got one earlier in the game as Janae Sanders has kind of warmed up around the rim.
Yeah, Sanders now has 3 buckets, 6 points in this game in 11 minutes. They've cut it back to 3. With 4.5 to play here in the first half. Dye, skip pass, stolen away by Alston.
And that doesn't happen a lot. You don't see Dye having a lot of turnovers either, especially off of a pass like that.
Alston gets the screen from Gosnell. Sanders has had the hot hand. She drives again, and this time got fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2.
And, another thing with, the referees and,
in the second quarter, and App State a much better shooting quarter than Troy so far.
Yeah, and when it comes to, taking those good shots and getting offensive rebounds, you got to credit Karangas and Dye, who are 2 of the best offensive rebounders in this league and in this country. I mean, they go after their own shots, miss or make.
That's one of the things I love about this job is going around the country, talking to these different coaches and picking their brains about their different styles and philosophy. Every coach has a different idea about the way it should be done. You have some coaches who believe offensively, we want to pass it around a lot until we get that perfect shot and only take that, three-pointer, deep three-pointer if there's less than 5 on the shot clock. There are others, like I remember Andy Kennedy, the Ole Miss coach who's now at UAB, he said, look, I'd rather us take the first shot and go and get the offensive rebound than to take the extra pass and throw it out of bounds.
I mean, I think that depends on if you got good shooters or not, right? So exactly. The coaches who don't have good shooters.
People that can go crash the boards and get the offensive
exactly.
glass. Yeah, it really depends upon your personnel.
Absolutely.
But he certainly looked at, his team, and he felt like with his team at that time, it was much better for them to take the shot and go try to crash the boards and get the rebound than a team that maybe was not as precise in running that half-court offense might throw it away and commit a turnover.
And good recovery there by Reese to not allow Gosnell to get off that easy 2. I mean, that was a great pass into Gosnell and couldn't convert. Reese was there to strip the ball out of bounds.
So App State on this possession with a 3 could tie the game. And Pre Stanley's just the player to do it. For the tie, she does it. Pre Stanley with 18 of the Mountaineers' first 35 points.
Yeah, Jasmine Robinson has got to play her a little bit tighter there. I mean, they were going to make App State shoot with their streaky three-point shooting, and App State has responded. Right here you see Pre Stanley in the face of Jasmine Robinson, gives her way too much space. She converts from beyond the arc.
How big do you think the fact that App State did beat Troy in the regular season, although Troy won the other 3 matchups, how big is that in this game today?
I mean, it shows that it's possible, right? So Troy can't underestimate a team like App State, even though Troy's number 1 seed, App State's number 3. But they came into this game saying, hey, we can't underestimate them. They did beat us once before. And, you know, when you play in series, you know, this has been an interesting season. So it's kind of been like they've been playing in baseball series, seeing each other 3 times in a row as Pre Stanley is on fire again. But, you know, hits another shot. But, you know, playing in these series, you start to pick up a lot of things, like a lot of tendencies. And it's like practicing different scenarios against the same team over and over again, seeing what works and what doesn't.
20 first-half points for Pre Stanley, and App State leads for the first time in this game. A 9-2 run over the last 4 minutes. And they're playing with a lot of confidence right now. Gosnell the rebound.
And App State's confidence is kind of taken away from Troy's confidence. I mean, this is a different team that I'm seeing right here today, but I definitely expect Troy to, you know, kind of assert their aggressiveness in this game a little bit more.
They drop it back for Johnson. To the top of the circle, and Robinson sinks the 3, and Troy back on top.
And again, I love Robinson's confidence. You know, she's a player. She's had a few 3s shot in her face, and she got a charge, took a charge, should I say, for Troy. It's kind of like she's responded to everything that App State's done. She's kind of say, well, hey, I can do that too.
The thing about Robinson is not only can she hit the 3, she's a great playmaker. She's had 19 assists for Troy the last 2 games, has averaged 7 assists per game the last 4.
Yeah, Robinson, I mean, just a crafty, sneaky player. She goes for a lot of steals, and she's a really smart player. Takes a lot of good shots, as Alexis Dye misses her favorite from that corner free throw shot. We rarely see her miss that one.
And she usually has such a great touch. If she gets it on the iron, it's going to go in. That time it rolled around the iron.
Dye seeming a little winded, too, you know, not being able to take her normal break in this quarter because App State has just been so aggressive on the offensive end.
Gosnell keeps it alive, and they're going to call double dribble.
And I think, you know, Gosnell was trying to say, hey, they knocked the ball out of my hand, but they didn't. It's a nice try, though. And she drives to the rim right here, and Robinson does a really good job of tying her up. It should have probably been a jump ball.
I think Reese got her hand in there and knocked it out of her hands. As you watch that replay, Reese, 23, stuck her hand in there and knocked the ball out of her grasp.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a double dribble. Stolen away by Porter.
Ball don't lie then.
Neither does the video. Stanley. Rebound, Gosnell got tied up, stolen away by Reese.
Excellent rebound by Gosnell, but she's a little tired. Brought the ball down there for the little ones to get in there and get it.
Rosario air ball. And Stanley an easy rebound. 20 points, 7 rebounds for Pre Stanley so far in this first half. Shot clock off. App State can play for the final shot and the lead going to the locker room.
It's almost like her and Dye switch places.
And Stanley got fouled on her shot. She'll go to the line.
Yesterday, Alexis Dye almost had a double-double in the first half, and today it's about Pre Stanley just doing it all. Crosses over Rosario. Rosario's like, yeah, coach, that was me. Got her on the foul. Just a really smart player penetrating to the rim and positioning her body to draw the foul.
So Stanley at the line, rolls off the rim. One more chance to tie this game and send it to the locker room, tied at 38. .38 with 5 seconds to play in the half. Ahead it goes to the corner. Step back 3 by Rosario. And we're tied at 38 going to the locker room. What a fantastic first half here in the women's semifinals.
I mean, Matt, the way that first quarter.
Women's semifinal between Louisiana and Little Rock. So here we go, start of the third quarter. And Troy on offense, and Alexis Dye picking up right where she left off. 14 points and 8 rebounds now, 6 of 10 from the floor.
She just makes it look so easy, that little turnaround jumper that she does. I mean, that's not an easy shot. You can tell she's gotten in the gym and put up shots from every angle to be able to knock that down from around the court. I mean, just amazing touch around the rim.
She's certainly one of the smoothest women's basketball players that I've seen this season. You're right. There is, there's no herky-jerky in anything that she does. It all flows very freely, even on the turnaround.
We take another look at this. The pass from Sandifer. And Gosnell has got to do a better job of not allowing Alexis Dye to catch the ball right there. I mean, you know that that's her shot. You know that's where she likes to have that turnaround jumper. I mean, at this point, it's just about the effort of getting there and intercepting the pass, or at least trying to make it hard for Alexis Dye to catch and shoot.
And Robinson with the miss. But that turnaround jumper by Dye is such an effective weapon offensively because, number one, you got your back to the defender. So when you jump and spin, you immediately create that separation to get your shot off.
And that's why Gosnell has got to make it hard for Dye to even catch that pass right there.
Good job denying her the pass. Stolen by Karanga. Karanga, I love how she runs the break and missed the shot and then off her hands out of bounds.
And Karanga is another one who's, got to get it going for Troy. Kind of a slow game for her. And I think right there, she's another one who's got a really good touch around the basket. Very athletic, but I think she was afraid to draw the charge from the two App State defenders because of all the charges that were drawn in the first half.
Yeah, she only played 7 minutes in the first half, in large part because of the 2 personal fouls that she picked up in the half. So only 2 points and 4 rebounds for Karanga right now. Rebound by Dye.
And here Troy is kind of pushing the ball, trying to get the momentum in their favor as Alexis Dye just money from all over the court. Hits another 15-foot jump shot.
And she needs one more rebound to have a double-double. 14 points and 9 rebounds now for Dye.
And there are bodies all over the floor. You can tell that this one is going to come down to the wire. Both these teams trying to will their teams to a win. And Alexis Dye doesn't even go into the defense. She said, hey, Pre Stanley, you're a little bit shorter than me. I'm just going to shoot right over you. Stop and pop.
She plays so well in rhythm. So much of her game is about timing and mechanisms and shooting in rhythm, whether it's that turnaround jumper or it's that pull-up on the break.
Yeah. I got to ask her secret, though, about, playing with braces. I played with braces, and my mouth got cut up. I mean, it was a mess for me. She doesn't seem like she has any problems with it.
Key is don't get hit in the mouth.
Well, like you mentioned before, she knows how to create better separation than what I used to do, so that's probably it right there.
Yeah, and that's a good point. You'll watch from here next turnaround jumper. Look how much lift she gets and how high above the defender she is when she releases the ball. Karanga puts it on the floor, stopped by Gosnell. A rim out, and the rebound controlled by the Mountaineers. Pre Stanley brings it across the half-court line.
You can just tell that Karanga, that wasn't the shot that she wanted to take. That wasn't in her rhythm, but you can tell she's playing a little timid with those 2 fouls.
So turnover by Pre Stanley as the ball goes out of bounds. 4-point lead for Troy here. Slow start to this third quarter relative to what we've seen in the first 2 quarters. Karanga high off the glass. She's just a little bit out of sync right now. Not seeing the same player that we saw yesterday go for 16 points and 19 rebounds.
The credit some of App State's defense, too, for just making it uncomfortable for her in there.
Dye beats the shot clock. That'll be a shot clock violation.
And that's something we don't see too often, an air ball at the end of the shot clock by Dye. But I think Troy's offense just was a little disjointed, couldn't find a rhythm there. So they're going to have to get it back on the defensive end and try to convert some of those defensive stops into transition layups at the other end and try to just get the momentum back in their favor.
That might be the first shot clock violation for Chandler Rigby's team the entire year. It just doesn't happen. They shoot so quick. Gosnell, as they broke the press, first points of the quarter for App State.
Yeah, App State, I don't think the ball touched the floor on those passes. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to break that press and get it up the floor before the defender can even recover.
And Dye got fouled on the baseline.
And here, the rookie Faith Alston, the ball did touch the floor, but right here, Michaela Porter gets it to Gosnell, who cuts straight to the basket. That's excellent ball movement, excellent people movement, excellent passing by App State. That's a good fast break, drill run to show a team who's looking at trying to improve on how to turn your defense into offense in transition.
Gosnell was called for the foul. That's 2 on her. Johnson being guarded by Alston. Oh, wow. Acrobatic shot by Janiyah Sandifer, and she was fouled.
Wow, that was pretty by Sandifer. Right here, does the fake. Splits both Gosnell and Biggett and gets the and one for Troy. And right there, that might be the momentum shifter that Troy needed to get their fire back burning. And one by Sandifer.
That's the thing in my mind that makes this Troy team so dangerous offensively. Of course, they've got the folks to hit the three-point shot, but they also do a tremendous job of attacking the basket. They're always putting pressure on your defense.
Absolutely. And I credit that to, the upperclassmen on this team. They've got 7 seniors on this squad, so they played together for a little while. And
Alston with the bucket. 44-42. Troy comes right back quickly at them. Robinson kick out to Sandifer. And back it goes to Dye. Johnson on the arc. Battle for the rebound. Troy comes away with it.
Awesome. That is excellent by Dunlap getting on the floor. Hustle points.
Sandifer the miss. Tie up on the rebound. And the possession arrow pointing App's way.
This is incredible to watch just because of these players getting on the floor. They are fighting. Both of these squads are not going out without fighting. You see the miss here. Everybody going for the rebounds. And you've got Johnson and Pre Stanley fighting for the jump ball, and Stanley coming up with a little smile on her face saying, hey, I know you might be a little bit bigger than me, but I'm not going away like that easy.
Angel Elderkin in her 7th season as the Mountaineers head coach. What a fabulous job she's done. I saw them play back in December at the University of Georgia. She was confident that she had her best team yet. Confident about their chances of going out and maybe winning the Sun Belt Championship this year. They'll have to go through Troy. They've already beaten them once this year, back on New Year's Day, but they've got to beat them today to get to the finals for the first time in program history.
Yeah, Angel Elderkin, when I spoke with her, she kept talking about the book that they read in the offseason called Pound the Stone, Pound the Stone, and she referenced it yesterday in their win in the quarterfinals over UT Arlington, and she said our shot wasn't falling. We were a three-point shooting team. Our shot wasn't falling, wasn't going in, so we had to find different creative ways to score, get some layups, some easy twos, get to the free throw line. And they were successful, which is why they're playing here today. And, their shot is falling a little bit better, but, she constantly emphasizes pounding the stone, finding a way to get it done for Appalachian State.
Mountaineers have won 7 of their last 8 games coming into today's semifinal. Sanders puts it on the floor, pulls up, misses the runner, got her own miss.
And again, it's about boxing out. A player that can get their own rebound. That means no one found the shooter and put a body on him.
App State down 4.5 to play in the third quarter. Gosnell for 3, and the rebound by Dye. Goes into Dye, double team, spin. Off back iron. Karanga got the rebound and puts it up and in.
And that's exactly what Troy needed from Karanga right there. You can tell that with Alexis Dye, App State has started to get some help side defense on her. The last couple plays, they brought in a guard to kind of dig in and double team her. And for Karanga, hopefully that can get her going in this game. She's got 4 points and 5 rebounds. She usually averages a double-double as well.
Michaela Porter sinks it from the corner. That stops the run by Troy.
I kind of affect her shot a little bit, so going to have to try to find some more ways for Alexis Dye to get some points on the board.
Yeah, I think that seems to be the strategy for App State, is just to make her work really hard. And I think you're starting to see that manifested a little bit in some of her shots that were typically going in, now coming up a little bit short as Karenga banks it in, and a 5-point lead for Troy.
And that's the aggressive Karenga that, we're used to seeing. We could tell she was a little off with those 2 fouls, but I'm sure Chanda Rigby was just like, listen, if you're going to go out and foul out, you need to go out all hard. Give it your best, go as aggressive as you can, and let me worry about the rest.
Porter working against Dye. Tosses it up there. The miss. Gosnell had it bounce off her hands and go out of bounds.
Did you see Coach Elderkin try to race to the ball on the sideline of the loose ball?
Thelmus Karenga starting to come to life here in this third quarter. And Troy has a 5-point lead. It has been just a spectacular weather weekend here in Pensacola. And inside here in the Pensacola Bay Center, we've had great basketball as well. It's the first of our 4 semifinals today. And Troy leading at 50-45 under 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Louisiana and Little Rock, our other women's semifinal, coming up after this one. And then 2 more men's semifinals this evening. Sanders with the bucket.
Sanders has just been so aggressive all game. I mean, whether they've been falling or not, she has been going right at Troy. As Alexis Dye with a nice little touch on the inside, converts for 2. But, Sanders has been aggressive the entire game, and I think she's part of the reasons, other than Pre Stanley, why App State is playing so well in this game today.
Yeah, Sanders is a North Carolina kid, played at Mallard Creek, but started her college career with the Explorers of LaSalle, then transferred to App State. She's been a big addition to the team this year, averaging 6.5 points per game, and she's got 8 today. Karenga on the baseline. Like I said earlier, Karenga's starting to heat up, starting to see the Thelmus Karenga that we're accustomed to seeing.
Yeah, I think she just had to get out of her own mental head and say, you know what, I might have 2 fouls, they might be coming at me, but if I sit here and I don't score and don't foul out, then I didn't give it my all anyway. So if my team is going to battle in this game, well, I got to be in it.
How about Karenga's numbers the last 2 games? She's gone for 34 points and 38 rebounds the last 2 games.
I mean, these numbers by both Karenga and Dye, as Dye converts the 2 at the other end. That was excellent transition offense for Troy, by the way, but these numbers they're putting up are video game numbers.
Yeah, so Alexis Dye says, you thought I was tired, huh? I'm going to beat everybody down the floor and get the layup. 20 points now for Dye. And Sanders rolls it in and 1.
I mean, these players are going to need Epsom salt baths after this for all the bruises that they're taking between charges and layups and ones. Sanders right here just going straight at Karengas. She knows that Karengas has those 2 fouls, so Karengas can't do anything about the shot block, but Sanders just playing out of her mind today. Tying her shoe right now. She might be trying to get a little breath.
Get a breather. Yeah. Taisha Mora was called for that foul. That's number 1 on her. Just the second team foul on Troy. That's one of the things they've cleaned up here in this third quarter. They committed 12 fouls in the first half. They've had only 2 here in the third quarter, keeping App State off the foul line.
And I think Chanda Rigby had to, go to the refs and say, if you're going to call it both ways. And I just saw her talking to the referees, trying to plead their case. And sometimes you got to do that. You got to go and plead your case to the refs and say, hey, my girls are working hard. If we're going to get these calls, make sure they're called the right way. So I think she was kind of protesting a few of those early charges that were taken.
And you never see a coach change an official's mind. But what they do is plant a seed for the next call.
Exactly.
Hartsfield kicks on the baseline. Ball is intercepted, but a blocking foul is going to be called on Lainey Gosnell.
And Lainey Gosnell was saying, look, I'm the one who took the charge and got fouled, and Moore right here goes straight at Gosnell with the pass that was intercepted, but Gosnell was pretty set right there.
You can see she is flabbergasted with the call.
But,
yeah, I was just going to say Lainey Gosnell has really just finished her senior year so strong, averaging close to 15 points per game over the last 11 games coming into the tournament.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I'm just so impressed with the way she plays and how she sacrifices her body, especially her rebounding. She is a beast on the boards when it comes to rebounding.
Ty'Asia Moore hits both of the free throws. Gosnell goes to the bench for the final 52 seconds of this third quarter with 3 personal fouls. Going to try to protect her for the fourth. 6-point lead for Troy. Pre Stanley only 2 points in this third quarter after scoring 21 in the first half. She got fouled on a drive to the basket, but that is not a shooting foul, just the third team foul on Troy.
Yeah, Alexis Dye is getting a laugh out of it with Moore, but I think she's kind of saying, man, I'm tired, because she rode the hip of Pre Stanley the entire time when she got that foul.
Just the first foul on Dye. Difference of about 19 seconds in the game clock and the shot clock to close out this third quarter. Alston puts it on the floor. Kick to the corner, and Bigot missed the three. Rebound by Moore. 18 seconds to go in the quarter. Karanga, nice move, and it rolled off the rim. Got her own miss and sticks it in with 6 seconds to go.
Now that's the Karanga we're used to seeing.
And look at Dye. Did she get the turnover? Actually, Hartsfield, pardon me. Did Hartsfield get the turnover? Was it off Alston there?
Ooh, this is getting a little scrappy out. Well, it's been scrappy out here, but I love the intensity of this game. I mean, both these teams are fired up, going for every loose ball.
Yeah, watch the hustle by Hartsfield after the basket by Karanga. Karanga gets the putback. And then we stay with it, and look at that hustle by Hartsfield. She gets her hand in there at the horn.
Wow.
Tia Johnson, and that's a 4-point swing for Troy.
For her squad, she's fighting for her team. And sometimes when a coach gets, you know, kinds of plant the seed, as you should say, Matt, with the referees, and they fight for their squad, the squad gets behind the coach and says, look, the coach is fighting for us. We got to fight back. So hopefully this gets the momentum shifting in App State's favor.
You take a look at the game reset as App State trying to get to the finals for the first time in program history here in the Sun Belt, while Troy's trying to get to the finals and ultimately win the finals for a third consecutive season.
Those points off turnovers, App State just converting 13 points off of those 13 turnovers by Troy, just doing a much better job at the conversion rate at that point.
Gosnell short on the three.
And Lainey Gosnell doing a good job of pushing Karangas off the block, making sure it's hard for her to catch it.
Dye, a little long that time, and Sanders with the rebound. Janae Sanders, 11 points and a rebound, 2 rebounds here in this game. But she has been such an important piece to their offense. Example, Exhibit A. Another floater there from Janae Sanders.
Her basketball IQ to me is just off the charts, because she sits there, she eyes the defense and see who's going to draw to her, who's going to stay where they are. And she has that nice little pull-up touch right around the rim so that she doesn't go and get her shot blocked. I mean, just excellent basketball IQ, Sanders.
8-point game. And Dye gets it back. Skip pass, cross court. Now to the low block, and Karanga airballed it and saved to Gosnell.
And everybody on Troy was just looking at the ball at that one. No one went to the ball, and Johnson was able to save it in bounds, but no one was there to get it. So, you know, Troy has to make sure they're defensively staying intact and in the play.
Alston misses the three. Dye grabs the rebound. 13 boards to go with her 20 points. And off of the foot of Robinson. Pre Stanley, 21 points in that first half, but only 2 in the third quarter, as the Trojans outscored the Mountaineers 24-14 in the period. And jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Mountaineers.
Yeah, Karangas and Gosnell just both going for the rebound. 2 of the top offensive rebounders in this league. And I just love the fight in both of these post players. Both of them not backing down, not quitting, saying, hey, I'm going to give it my best, give it my all in the semifinals here, trying to make it to the finals tomorrow.
Last weekend, Gosnell combined for 41 points and 19 rebounds as the Mountaineers swept the Eagles at Georgia Southern. Or swept them in Boone, pardon me. The men were playing in Statesboro. And Pre Stanley loses the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a miscommunication between Sanders and Stanley. But, you know, next play, you know, you can't get down. You can't harp on it. It already happened. Now you got to try to get a stop on the defensive end and turn that into offense.
Trojans 103-90 overtime winners over Texas State in the quarterfinals yesterday after having a first-round bye. Johnson on the air ball and out of bounds. Mountaineers opened the tournament with a 70-60 win over ULM in the first round, and in the quarterfinals knocked out the number 2 seed, UTA, 54-46.
And here, you know, you've got Sharonica Hartsville coming in the game. Troy's going to try to pick up some defensive intensity here and try to force App State into some miscues, some turnovers, and try to convert those into layups.
Mountaineers were picked to finish 8th in the Sun Belt. Here they are in the Final Four, though. Gosnell gets the rebound. Back to Stanley. Maybe that gets Stanley going again. She's got 25.
And credit Gosnell with the offensive rebound for that one. She kept the play alive and got Pre Stanley another crack at it, a second chance points for App State.
Stanley now has a double-double. That was her 10th rebound. And stolen away, Hartsfield. It's a 2-on-1. It's a 3-on-1 now, and back to Hartsfield and to the trailer, and they missed the layup.
One pass too many. One pass too many, Matt.
But traveling is on the offensive rebound, or the defensive rebound, pardon me, by Tiara Wilson. So she got the rebound, fell down, and was called for traveling.
And right there, I mean, just excellent passing from Hartsfield to Robinson, back to Hartsfield, and I think the extra pass came in when they got it to Johnson. I think Hartsfield was like, hey, I'm a little too small to be making this layup over the post player, but one extra pass too many for Troy, but good offensive movement of the ball in that fast break.
6-point lead for Troy. Inbounds comes to Johnson, and she missed it. Chased down in the corner by Moore. Gets it back. Baseline jumper. Didn't get the bounce. And out of bounds off the Trojans.
Troy has gotten a lot of those today, the little bounce around balls that have kind of gone in the rim, rimmed around and bounced out. Just tough break on a couple layups for Troy.
So full court pressure here by the Trojans as they get it into Sanders.
And right here, Troy has picked up the defensive intensity. App State has got to come to the ball.
We'll have a foul on the Trojans away from the ball. Tia Johnson picks up her first personal foul, and that'll be the third team on Troy. Six to play in regulation. 6-point lead for Troy. Sanders goes around the screen and missed the jumper.
And for Troy, everybody boxed out right there. No App State player didn't have a body on them. So good job right there getting a one and done on that possession, limiting App State to a one and done on that offensive possession.
Robinson on the dish inside to Karenga. Fourth assist of the game for Robinson. And Robinson nearly forced the turnover and does. Robinson came up and put pressure on Wilson, forced the turnover.
And the entire Troy bench was up on their feet saying, great job, great job. And those hustle plays are what can be the difference in a game. all day, both these teams have kind of been on the floor, trying to get those loose balls, and both teams still going at it right now.
Robinson got knocked off her shot. She'll go to the line and shoot two. Or maybe not. Yeah, no, it's going to go the other way. We have an offensive foul on Troy, I think, on the rebound attempt. Yeah, Tyisha Moore was called for the foul, number 2 on her.
And Robinson drives to the rim, and you see Moore swing in, yeah, right there. Trying to go for the rebound. It's the offensive player over the head.
And another turnover forced by the Troy defense. And another missed layup. Sandefur. And jump ball. It'll belong to Troy.
I mean, there are just bodies everywhere on this court. These young women are really, really putting their heart and soul into this game, fighting to try to get to the final game tomorrow. I mean, whoever wins today, it'll be well-deserved.
Yeah, it really has turned into a fight. Only 6 total points. Another missed layup. Only 6 total points in the first 5 minutes of this fourth quarter. 4 for App and 2 for Troy. Sanders, that's a wild shot.
Yeah, a little out of control. She did a great job breaking the press, but she just pulled it out, in my opinion, and set up a play. Try to calm things down a bit.
Game's here for the taking. Troy's only scored 2 points in the quarter. If App can capitalize and get some offense going.
Yeah, they've kind of gotten a little cold, and Janae Sanders has really just been still attacking the rim, just haven't gotten, a few layups to fall, but Pre Stanley's kind of cooled off a bit. They got to get her going. Lainey Gosnell also just has to get the ball moving through her hands as well.
Troy is 1 for 13 shooting in the quarter. Stanley fouled on the play, or was that an offensive foul? I think it's another offensive foul as Stanley got whistled.
That's why players take note. That's how you do a fast break.
Chip Lindsey, the head coach of the Trojans football team, might want to take a look at Tyisha Moore. That was a nice pass.
And, Matt, one thing I brought up in the break, I mean, the rebounds are dead even, and they're exactly the same between these two teams at 39 apiece, 24 defensive, 15 offensive, as Jasmine Robinson leaks in for the easy two. But that's just amazing to me. I've never seen that stat be exactly the same for both teams, and that just shows how much of a dogfight this has become between these two squads.
Robinson is now in double figures with 10 points, and Troy has a 10-point lead, so App's going to have to get some offense going here. Not very crisp right now, a lot of fumbling of the ball. 5 on the shot clock. Pre Stanley, mid-range jumper. That's exactly what they needed.
Yeah,
back to 8.
She sets the tone with her aggressiveness, and when they can't get any scores, Pre Stanley has got to find a way, because this team really rallies behind her and her aggressiveness attacking the rim.
With that basket, Pre Stanley now has 27 points. And stolen away by Gosnell. A real battle for it right there, and finally they call a travel on Troy.
And Pre Stanley's previous season high against Georgia State was 29 points. So with her 27 right now, she's nearing her season high.
So Gosnell has only 7 points today and 11 rebounds, but if they had stats for floor burns and bruises, she'd be a leader.
I think that'd be the leading stat in this game.
Stanley whips it across. Michaela Porter for 3. Off the mark. Sander for the rebound. We're under 3 to go. Troy leads by 8.
Yeah, plenty of time right here. And Troy is going to try to run some time off the clock to maintain this lead and get an offensive possession here and score. And App State has just got to do a good job of getting up in them and try to force some miscues, some turnovers.
Robinson, a wild shot, battle for the rebound, and Sandifer able to get it back for Troy. Launches a 3, did not get the bounce. Bigot has it for the Mountaineers across half court. Time running down on App State here. Stanley working against Sandifer. Spin move, off glass, and over the rim.
But that's exactly what App State and Pre Stanley have to do to get back in this game. Not only did she go aggressive to the rim on Sandifer with the spin move, which is a really good move, but she also stopped the clock, and now she can cut into the lead with the free throws. You stop the time, and then you decrease the lead, but now you just got to convert.
Stanley 4 of 5 at the free throw line today, now has 28 points. Came in averaging 15 points per game, preseason All Sun Belt second team. Senior out of Rockledge, Florida. Another free throw, and it's back to 6 with 2 minutes to play. Season high from Pre Stanley.
Yep, she just tied her season high, and I have a feeling that with 2 minutes left in this game, she's probably going to surpass that season high.
Double-double working here, 29 points, 11 rebounds, under 2 minutes to go. It's a 2-possession game. Wild shot. Johnson comes up empty on it. No whistle. Here come the Mountaineers. Stanley to the corner in Alston. Back to Stanley. 90 seconds to go. Stanley gets the handoff from Porter inside. Missed the layup. She crashes to the floor. Here come the Trojans in transition.
And again, Troy is going to pull it back out. Usually they would go ahead and take that offensive transition and try to turn that into a layup, but now with the lead, they're trying to run as much time off the clock as possible.
Robinson being guarded by Alston, down to 10 on the shot clock. Screen set by Dye. Dye another screen. She'll get it back with 2 on the clock. And the rebound by Stanley. App still alive with 50 seconds to go. Porter for 3. Bang!
Michaela Porter has missed quite a few of those in this game today. She's 1 of 5 from three-point line, but right there she makes it when it counts.
Huge three-pointer by Michaela Porter to knock down the 3, and App still alive with 43 seconds to go.
And wheel or deflection, it's something where this Troy team is very smart, and they know how to take care of the ball in the crunch.
Let's see if they start fouling right away. They don't. Interesting run there. 7-0 run by App to get it back to 3. Just going to play straight up defense and see if they can get a stop and come down the floor and get a 3 to tie. 12 on the shot clock. Now down to 9. And Robinson gives it to Dye. Dye. No. Pre Stanley down the floor. App a chance to tie with 15 seconds to go. Down to 8. Porter for the tie. In and out. Rebound battled for by Gosnell. She got it back. There was a whistle that will stop the clock. We'll see how much time they're going to put back on the clock and see what the call is going to be here.
Oh, that was intense. And Michaela.
Line up. Okay, we see what they're going to do. Now let's Louisiana in our next women's semifinal. So 2.1 to go. And they don't go to